Next on The Professional Rule Breaker.
I absolutely love listening to The Professional Rule Breaker, Kathy Walterhouse. I've met Kathy years ago, and she is probably one of the most skilled, innovative individuals out there that can just completely grasp your attention. Her wealth of knowledge is absolutely phenomenal. I would definitely recommend that you guys follow The Professional Rule Breaker if you are not doing that already.
Thank you for joining us in part 2 of my interview with my friend Denis Fourie. I know that he is just an amazing guy, and he has so much experience in e-commerce, in business. He works with entrepreneurs. And so there were like so many things that were just gold in this episode in part 2. You said something early on, and I want to get your opinion on this, because you said it's not that hard. However, a lot of people find business to be hard. And I'm sure there's people out there listening. And for everybody at times, I think it's been hard. There's been times it's been hard for me. So what do you say to those people?
It's not that business isn't hard. Business is hard in general. There's always going to be challenges we're going to be faced with. I have, even with this successes and failures and successes I've had, there's been times where I've still sat next to my bed on my knees. I've had that. And I'm not talking 10 years ago either. I've had that even during my successes where I've had this enormous amount of stress. What I'm saying is that if you understand the process and you compartmentalize things, you've got to break things down, because we tend to think too far ahead. It's okay, break it down. What's the goal with what you're trying to do? Break that into multiple objectives. Each objective has multiple tasks. Break those down. If you're breaking those down and you celebrate the win of every single task, can I tell you how motivated you would be? Because you're celebrating, you're rewarding yourself. I've actually completed this thing. Fantastic. Let me go sit and, I don't know, do whatever for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or I'm going to take myself out for dinner because I've done this.
You did this thing that maybe was like a mountain that you did, even though it might have been like a small.
You broke it into bricks. You broke the whole mountain into a whole lot of bricks and that. And it's, well, I can achieve this quite easily. Try and achieve that. No. And the problem is you're looking at that and saying, I've only done this. Do you really know how much you've done? I've got a board here and I can't actually show you now. So it's a board I've created, and I use my notes. See, all my notes are different colors, right?
Yeah.
And my little pins, okay? And it's broken into tasks, urgent, work in progress, pending, completed.
Love that. Love that.
And each color here represents something else. So for instance, my green ones are finance related, red are like extremely urgent, white ones are client related. I've got ops, I've got IT, and I use a different color for different things. So I look
you
at
could be selling that, by the way.
I actually do.
Oh, do you? Oh my gosh. You know what?
I've developed the products. I've had this board made like this year, so you can see this wood. So we're making it out of that and putting the pins on it. But it's different colors for all of these things to put on. And I literally take my tasks and I'm breaking them. What is my work in progress today? And I'm putting it through. And if it's pending, means I'm waiting on someone else for something. Pending, and I do. At the end of each week, go look at in your completed column how much you've done. I promise you, you're going to celebrate, because you're going to look at that and say, there must be 20, 30, 40 freaking pieces of paper standing there. And that is the motivation I need every day, because I'm looking at that. I didn't feel like I got anything done this week. And I'm looking at that and there's 40 tasks on there. I'm like, actually, I did pretty freaking well. Thank you very much. And that's how I motivate myself.
I love that. Maybe I'm old fashioned, because I've used Trello. I use ClickUp now, which they're all really fantastic products, and they're all electronic.
But you know what? That's the problem is I use Trello.
You don't celebrate it when it's done. You just like, what I do is I literally clear it. There's no celebration. I just clear it. And I'm like, okay, one thing less.
Yeah, exactly. But
versus it's also when you have it up on a wall and you're moving things, and it could be the exact same thing that you either have in Trello, Asana, whatever you use.
It's identical to your Trello. The difference is I walk into the office, I can see my tasks straight away. There they are. When I'm sitting here working, etc., and I'm glancing, oh, shit, I need to do that. Okay, I need to do that. It's not that I have Trello, which I need to open up the app. I need to set up my notifications and all of that. It's there. I'm looking at it. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm looking at what was done, what is impending. Okay,
Yeah.
look at this, work in progress. Like I often I've got one actually on my desk. It's a loose one. So I've taken it off because that's what I'm busy with.
Yep.
Right. So I'm taking it off and it's lying here right in front of me. This is my task I'm busy with. Put it back just now. And so I'm doing that because I need to motivate myself. And I think a lot of that is because I'm ADHD as well. I need that.
Aren't we all as entrepreneurs?
I think so, right? I don't know, they call it ADHD. I just call awesome. But anyway,
The A stands for awesome. Yeah,
exactly.
We'll have to think of something for
They
H.
just misspelled it.
Happy.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Awesome, happy.
But that's the motivation around that. So taking all of those tasks, when I go set up a plan to, let's say I want to launch a shop, right? I've broken that. What's the goal that I want to achieve? Okay. Now I said several people say, I want to create $1 million business. That's my goal. No, that's too far ahead.
Yep.
The goal into other goals. What are
all the pieces?
Your first goal. What's the first goal? Yes, that's your vision. That's not a goal. It's your vision. Okay.
Yep.
First goal is I need to launch the freaking business. Okay. What are the things that what are the objectives that I need to put in? I need to get systems in place. I need marketing, I need sales, all of these different things. You go through, basically break it down by department almost. Okay. What are the tasks under each one of those that I need to do? Prioritizing them on your board. This is what I need to do to lay it out. My daughter's a cosplayer, right? She does professional cosplaying, etc. She creates her outfits, very fancy, magnificent things. And she uses the board. She's got her own board in her office. So she goes, the things I need to do, work in progress, this, etc. Because you can manage it. You can say, okay, this is what I need to do. And once I've launched, now I've got my next set of tasks for the next phase. Okay, I want to now reach $10,000 a month. Then I want to reach $50,000 a month. Then 100,000 or whatever. Okay, what are the things I need to do in order to achieve that? And while that's going, you're constantly adding more tasks. Oh, I need to phone my accountant today. I need to sort out financial. I need to do my taxes. I need to speak to my lawyer about terms and conditions or whatever. You're constantly adding to this thing and you're taking it all.
Constantly. It's almost, I'm sure people have heard me talk about the hour of power, that you spend time by yourself and you just brainstorm and all the things that you have to do, all the things that you need to do, the things that are your dreams or whatever it is. And then you start looking at, okay, what's most important on that list? And then that's your priority. And you break that down into pieces. But I could also see how that would relate somehow into your board too. You got my brain thinking, because I was like, ooh, there would be a second board or something like that that would be related to that. Because a lot of times people do it on their computer, or you'll do it on.
It needs to be in your face. Like my goals, my vision is written down here on pieces of paper. I've taken an A5 sheet and I've cut it into segments and I've written a goal on each thing. There you go. That's my goal. Or I take my journal, and stuff. I'm writing in, these are my visions. This is what I want to achieve at the end of the year. This is what I want to achieve at the end of 2025, etc. And I break it down by year. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to be, etc. You've got to have that stuff in front of you. So when I'm walking through, I'm seeing this stuff. Corner of an eye.
You see the red.
Conscious mind. My subconscious is noticing that stuff, that law of attraction, right? It's like,
yes, absolutely.
Constantly feeding me the whole time. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. My motivation quotes, everything else, everything on my desk, whether it's a pen holder or whatever the case is, like coffee cup.
Yeah,
says,
I love
dreams
that.
Are only dreams until you wake up and make them real. Stuff like that. I've got it everywhere.
I like how there's a fork in your pencil holder.
My lady gave it to me. It actually says, I fucking love you.
I love that. I love that. I was thinking, okay, you eat at your desk.
God, so I even got a spoon in. I love you like a fat kid likes cake. So that's a funny thing. So I get these things from the kids and from my missus and everything else. So I got all of these like cute little things around. But it motivates me. It feels everything, all the stuff around me. It's important. It motivates me. High stress environment. This last few weeks because we're launching an app, our tech company, we're launching a new app, and that my days start at about 5 a.m. and I end normally at about 11, 12 at midnight. That's generally when I finish,
But you know
etc.
what?
So
I bet you are excited the whole time
I wake up
versus,
excited. I like
yes,
literally, this is what we're going to do today. This
jump
is
out of
freaking,
bed.
we've got
Yeah.
to do this. Yeah, cool. Make no mistake, there are the downtimes during the day. And I'll just like, so Debbie, my lady, I would kind of like, I just message her and I'm like, man, I'm feeling this. Yeah, and she's just an inspiration. You got this. Go kick ass and take names. And,
Yeah.
and then suddenly I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. And
You
if
know,
not you, who? That's the other thing, right?
exactly.
And
Who
that's what
else?
I want everybody to really think about that, because for the people that are out there that are struggling, you have some sort of experience. And if not you, who? Do you want
Exactly.
your potential customers to go to somebody that may not have the the right offer, the right experience,
Passion.
yeah, and the
Commitment.
passion. Yes, the passion as well. So yeah, no, absolutely. So
Exactly.
I want you to walk me through something that we had talked about, that you got challenged and you're like, okay, I'm going to set up this company, this
Yeah.
e-commerce company. Walk us
Yeah,
through
what
that.
was it?
Hey there, you know I'm all about making a big difference, making this really big impact. So I am so thrilled to introduce to you today's podcast sponsor. They are the very last U.S. family-owned manufacturer of consumer goods products, products that you use every single day and you run out of them every single day. And on top of that, their products are healthier and safer for you, and they have been made here in the great USA. My family made the switch, and I am so happy that we did. And so is everyone else in the family, because the products are amazing. So while these big giant corporations are just getting bigger and so many small businesses are really struggling to survive, why not help me in rooting for the underdog? And you know, I'm all about the underdog, instead of these giant 11 conglomerates that control 97% of the North American consumer goods market. So if you're ready to make a difference and switch away to something bigger and better, go to switchaway.com/rule breaker, drop your information, and one of my friends will reach out to you directly. And let's all switch away together to better quality products that are healthier and safer for you, and support family owned businesses, because together we can rewrite the business landscape and make a difference one person at a time.
Sorry?
Because quite frankly, when we were talking, I was like, okay, that's why you say it's not hard.
Well, you obviously get online, etc. People, you'll always get the naysayers, the people that will always try and judge you or tell you that you're full of crap and stuff like that. And whether that's jealousy or whatever I don't know what that is. And I tend to not really focus on it. But I took up a challenge. And if you had to start an e-commerce store from nothing and you only had this budget or whatever, that you couldn't actually go and make a success out of this thing at the end of the day. So I decided to go and start up a little e-commerce store. Not that I really had the time to do it, but I went ahead and went and sought the product, went to go try and find a product, going to China and those kind of places, looking what's online, etc. And I was like, I found some really little cool gadgets at the end of the day, little gifts, things, etc. And I just started it up, and I started with the marketing process. What did I need to do from marketing? What do I need to do from sales systems, legal, everything, importing, logistics, getting the stuff in, all of that. And I bought a small quantity of stuff, and then I started selling it. And I bought from that, I reutilized the profits, and I just built it up and built it up. And 12 months later, I ended up selling the business for almost $800,000. So it was like, okay, I built an $800,000 business
In a
12
year.
months.
Yeah, in 12
Yeah,
months. I
in
mean, that's
12 months.
crazy. A
Starting,
dream for a lot of people.
yeah, and it
It's
was like, well, how the hell did you do that? I was like, I just literally started sourcing products that I thought were funny, gimmicky, really products that people would love to buy, pay a premium freaking price for the stuff. I obviously had the stuff branded with my own brand, etc. Make no mistake, that makes a big difference. doesn't matter that you're buying a finished product. You can speak to manufacturers. I want to brand this with my logo. I want this on it, or whatever the case is, or make some changes to make it yours. My packaging was kick-ass. It was like a proper sexy box. It was like a nice, like a proper cardboard rustic box with stuff in it. And it just, the experience of opening the thing was awesome.
Was part of it, yes.
It is part of it. It's the whole experience that I wanted to get out there. Like when you get this thing, you've got this ribbon around this thing, and you're opening it up, and you've got this tinsel paper and stuff that's there, and it's, everything, and a little gift, tiny little gift, no matter which one it is in this box. And there you go, you've got this thing, and it was that experience. And little notes from me. Thank you so much for supporting my business, stuff like that. And when we had the t-shirt business, even before this, I also did the same thing with the t-shirt business. Also, everything was handwritten, little notes in it. It was the experience of people getting their gift and opening it up. My delivery was fast. You had your product within 1 to 2 days. You understand? Then you had this full experience of this thing. And they start referring friends. So this is awesome. This customer service is amazing. You get this thing so fast, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I ended up selling it for $800,000.
And that's crazy. So any one of us can do the same. You just have to have the right mentor, I would say. But I want to, you said,
and the right mindset. You got to have the right mindset.
Yes.
It's so important. You got to be like, I'm going to do this. It's a matter of time. It's not that I'm going to fail. I am going to do this. End of story. You got to believe it in yourself. The first time you start thinking about failure all the time, well,
everybody has failed in some shape or form, and I want people to refrain the way they look at failure. And it really, because when you fail, something positive always comes out of it. And that's what I want people to focus on, is what is the positive thing that came out of it. But before we go down that rabbit hole, I want to ask you, because I think you're the master at this.
Okay.
How do you go about setting up the customer experience? Because I think whether it's a gift or whatever it is that you're selling, consulting services or whatever it is, there has to be that customer experience. So are there questions that you should be asking about so that you set up this amazing experience?
Well, for me, the very first thing I look at, again, taking it back, who's my customer? Who's my customer avatar? If my customer is, for instance, in my one business, we've got 98.7% of our customers are women. Okay. So I'm targeting women. What's their age group? 35 to 55. 35 to 45 is our biggest buyers. Next biggest buyer, 45 to 55. Okay. So you kind of look, okay, how do I speak to those kind of people? Are they married? Are they not married? Do they have children? Do they not have children? And that's trying to truly understand who they are as individuals in that, and what they like. What are their likes and dislikes, etc. And we go all the way down to even the colors that we use. And so, well, when they unwrap that thing, is it like gold thing in there, or is it silver, or are we going to go with pastel colors, whatever the case is? It's all looking at what we build at the end of the day. It's all based on that customer avatar. But the first touch point in terms of the customer experience is actually your website. That there. So that there needs to talk your brand. It needs to represent you. You've got to think of your website as the dumbest, and I almost saw, salesperson on the planet, and you got to train this bastard, okay, to sell your product. That's think about it. Your website.
Oh my gosh, that's the best thing ever. I haven't thought of it that way. The dumbest salesperson. I'm actually writing that down because I think that's brilliant.
So you could choose. Are you going to have a salesperson that's going out in his PJs selling, or are you going to go someone that's dressed slick? Are you going to put someone in like a proper suit, like a corporate suit, etc., when you're going to go and speak to house moms? No, you're not. You're going to have someone else doing it. So if you're going to dress differently for the customer that you're approaching, if it was in person, would you not dress up your website according to the person that you want to speak to? With the experience of how you flow through that, not be part of that. With the customer service on that, if they reached out for that, if they clicked a button or whatever, whether it was an email or chatbot or whatever, the way you respond to that, would it be talking the lingo that they would talk to you with? And then when I send them the product, am I going to, what kind of experience would they like? Do I want to go just put bubble wrap around the freaking thing with a piece of plastic and duct tape around the thing? Is that an experience? Or would I actually have one on my desk here? But let me see. There's one. Or do I give you a box like this
Ooh,
that's
very
got
nice.
a product in it? And yes, it's going to come in another packet or whatever the case is with the courier that
But
it obviously
something like that
delivers.
for everybody that's listening, not watching, it's a very nice gift box with a beautiful ribbon on it. So if you were looking for, is that one of your, like for a significant other or something like that?
Yes, yeah.
So if you're looking for a gift for your significant other, there you have this beautiful gift. You don't even have to do anything. It comes, it's all wrapped, it's perfect, right? So right then and there,
Exactly.
your customer avatar is probably looking for something ready-made, simple, quick, easy.
And they have the option on the website to actually choose to say, this is a
Ah,
gift. And if it's a gift, you can write your card and we'll handwrite that freaking card for you and put that on it. If it's not a gift and it's for yourself, we obviously won't put that, the little gift card thing tag in it. So you getting it either way, like this, either with a tag or without a tag. You
I
understand?
mean,
And
and
that's
it's
what it's
all
all
about
about.
knowing your customer. I've actually sold, I think it has a minimum of 50 questions of the things that you must know about your customer. And then I
Yeah.
have a second add-on that once you know those, what are like the next steps? Digging even deeper into knowing your
Yes.
customers. Because 50 questions, quite frankly, you need to know more than 50.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
yeah, the 50, you're just
But you
scratching the
started off there.
surface. That's like your cold market. And then your warm market is when you start really digging into what their real needs are, what their real wants are as
Don't be
well.
scared to ask your customers. Look at your existing customers. Don't be scared to go to them and say, listen, what do you like about us?
Yeah.
What is, if there was the one thing that you really liked about us, not necessarily our product, but us, what is it?
What is,
And can they actually even tell you? Because a lot of times they like the customer, like, you're a cool company. Well, that means that they don't actually, you haven't connected with them. Yeah, they bought something
yeah,
from you, but they haven't really connected with you, right? So how do you don't be scared to do those surveys with those
ask
customers.
those.
Give them
Yeah.
a freaking call. Like we get a customer that has an issue with one of my clients, etc. They're frustrated because they wanted to do an exchange, but it's past the 30-day period, guarantee period, and but he was traveling, etc. And they want to just send him a standard reply, sorry, rejected, or whatever the case is. And I was like, pick
Hmm.
up the phone the person. So I picked up the phoned the person, said, okay, listen, yeah, it is past the kind of 30 days. And that he says, I can show you my flight tickets. I flew out. This is when I came back, etc. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to authorize an exchange for you, whatever the case is. You know, we authorized the exchange and he bought 5 more pairs.
I was going to say, they're going to
Okay.
buy more. They're
And I
going to
was
tell
like,
all their
okay,
friends.
so I've just increased sales by being, not because I was accommodating, but it was because he spoke to me. To this day, and this was about 8 or 9 months ago, to this day, he still sends me WhatsApp messages. Okay, hey, Dennis, how's it going? When are we going diving? You must come visit us. Can we
But you
go
know what? It's
diving?
also the right thing to do. I think that's one thing that sometimes businesses, I understand you don't want to be doing a ton of exchanges. There's special cases for everything. But in business, it just as in life.
100%.
What's
I
the
mean, we did,
right thing to do? You have to have that moral compass because without
but
that
you got
moral
to trust your
compass,
gut. You
yes.
know,
Hmm.
you trust your gut. I always say your gut is that place your heart and your mind agree, right? Is you look at a person, is that person full of shit or are they not?
Yeah.
Are they trying to take the Mickey out of me?
Advantage.
What are they? Do I feel there's genuinely a thing here? Okay, you know what? I actually feel sorry for the oak. Yes,
Yeah.
he was traveling. He was away. He was away for 20 odd days. So what? Let me help the oak out. Why the hell not? The shoes, he sent me the photos of the shoes. Make no mistake, we went through a process where he sent me the photos of the shoes. He even sent the shoes back and said, please just check it. Those things were brand new, still in their freaking box. That was like, come on, man. How's that? How does it hurt me, really? It's not like he was wearing it for, there was no
A
marks.
year and sending it back. Yeah.
Exactly. So there are exceptions to the rule, and that, but you've got to be flexible. You've got to put on trust your gut when you're speaking to someone. Do I think this person's genuine? And if they are, they might.
So I want to dig a little bit more into this customer experience because a lot of people that are listening potentially are consultants. So they're not necessarily selling a physical, well, they could be selling a physical product like a book
Mostly
or
selling
something like
services.
that,
Time.
but more service oriented. So in the service world, what do you suggest or give us a couple suggestions so that you create that really amazing customer experience so that you have in essence, what I call a raving fan that tells everybody about you.
I think it's going above and beyond, right? Because in the service space, the biggest part of the customer journey is the loyalty and advocacy stage, those last two stages. Loyalty is where they come back for more and they don't want to leave you, kind of thing. They keep wanting your services. So I look at my mentorship clients and I sign people up for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And generally, most people will sign up for 3 months, etc. But if I look at 90% of my clients have been with me for 2 years or more, they don't want to leave. They're like, no, Dennis, you can't go. I actually said to a client the other day, it's time for us to cut the umbilical cord. Got to see how you do this. She's like, Dennis, no, you are not leaving me. You can stay here. It's fine. And our mentorship sessions are coming to a point of where it just becomes a general chit chat with coffee at the end of the day.
Sometimes it's not the amount of time. She could ask one question, or there could be like one thing, and you're like, oh,
generally, there's one or two key decisions that she needs. She's on the right track, but she knows, and this is where the customer service part that you were asking about comes in. She knows that if she phones me at 11 o'clock on Saturday, I'm going to answer the phone. You understand? I'm going to say, hey, how are you doing? Or she can WhatsApp me 7 days a week or whatever the case is and ask me something. I'm going to answer. It's not, sorry, we'll meet at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Let's cover it then. There's none of that. You want to know how to do something? I'm not scared to jump into a system. Let's say it was like, if you look at, in her case, she's got an e-commerce business, etc. I'm struggling with Shopify, etc. I'm struggling with this. How would we deal with that? We jump onto, I get onto that system with my technical background saying, okay, there you go. Let's change this and this. Oh, let's create this email. And I'll go write the copy while she's on the Zoom call and we're writing this copy and let's go generate this image. Let's try this. And let's go. And then we get excited because we're both sitting there, we're creating this thing together. And there you go. And it's out. Now, that's not part of my job as a mentor to go and do that kind of stuff. But I do it. And my clients look
she'll
at
be your
because
customer
they
for
know
life.
Hands-on. Yeah, he's not going to say, oh, go and tell so-and-so to do that, or go so-and-so to do that. He's actually going to, when I need the help, he's there.
You do have to set up some boundaries sometimes. But you could tell I was laughing because I am thinking about, so I have 3 children. So 2 out of the 3 labors that I had, I was on the phone with a customer.
Okay, that's taking it too far. There's a boundary. Okay.
There should have been a boundary. And my OBGYN finally goes, okay, you gotta stop. You gotta stop right now.
We gotta get it out now. You can put it on the phone.
There was one time in my very first pregnancy, I said to my customer, I was like, I have only about a minute because I'm about ready to have another contraction. So we're going to have to end this. Yeah. But yes, I should have had a boundary at that point. My 3rd pregnancy, I had a boundary. There was none of that. So
the thing is, like, so if I'm not available or I'm with especially like when I'm with my kids or I'm with my missus and that, it doesn't matter if you WhatsApp me.
Right, because you need that time.
But if I'm not WhatsApping, I'm busy. And they don't get sensitive about that kind of, because they know that I will always respond when I can. And it doesn't matter when that is, but there will always be a response and I'll always be there willing to help. My sessions are generally about an hour and a half. We're at mentorship. We do a proper hour and a half kind of session, etc. If it goes to 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, I don't care. What's the objective for the session? Are we meeting the objective for the session? Yeah. Have we solved this problem? Yes or no? And you know what? You go do those a few times. And I do it naturally because I want to. And I actually really, really enjoy it. I really love just seeing the successes that these people have and the excitement and the motivation that they have. And I love doing that kind of thing. But it makes them come back to me all the time because they'll keep coming back. And they'll refer people. So they're constantly referring more and more and more people in that. And obviously, I've started sweetening the deal with certain things and saying, okay, you know what, we'll take 10% off your fee for every person that you bring on.
Person, right,
whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and you're like, oh, cool. They don't care about that, actually, because it's irrelevant compared to what they're generating now. But at the end of the day, it's nice to always add that little bit extra. How do you put that in there? And a referral, what's stronger than a referral in terms of?
I was going to say, that's the easiest sale you can get. Yes.
Exactly. Your client saying to him, there you go. Now, exactly what we said there. Imagine putting that onto an ad, taking a customer talking and saying, this is the freaking best thing, or unwrapping your box on that.
Yep.
How good does that ad do compared to just a picture of your
Oh my
product?
gosh, that's perfect. Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
what
And
we
then
use in
if you're
our
doing
ads. Cool.
consulting, even if you're doing consulting, if you have these referrals, same thing. So,
Exactly. You put it up there, make it look like a WhatsApp chat or an Instagram post or whatever the case is.
mhm,
There you go. This is what it is. This is what this person says about this. Whatever. Another good one for if you want a video thing is like where you're interviewing them, like this, like we're
yeah,
doing now. It's okay. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Kind of thing. And they say, this is what I like. This is what I didn't like. This is what was awesome. This is what I benefited from. I play something like that. People want that information. They want to see, is this genuine? Is it real? That kind of stuff. You don't get better than that.
no, absolutely not. Oh my gosh, you and I
We
could
talk
talk
forever.
forever, forever. And that's why, of course, you're a friend of the show. So I know I've asked you this before. What makes you a rule breaker? Everything. Everything makes you a rule breaker.
Everything, I don't conform to anything. I don't believe anything is impossible.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer that nothing's impossible. There's just a different way of doing things.
Yep. If
And
there's a
we
will,
might
there's a
not get
way.
it out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even I look at my developers and stuff, they're developing and they say to me, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, rubbish. But a week later, they'll come back to me. Okay, we've done it. I was like, was it impossible? So bend the rules, do it your way that you want to do it. Get some guidance from a mentor or whatever the case is if you want. But don't be scared. You don't have to conform to everyone else.
It's kind of like what do you have to lose, right? What is it that you have
Okay,
to
there's
lose
7 billion
by
people on the planet.
yeah,
Am I going to lose sleep because one person doesn't like me? No.
no.
It's like,
No, you
still
have
got
to
6
have, I
billion
would
to
say, a
go.
little bit of thick skin, right? Just let things, after a while, it gets easier. You just let things just roll off your shoulder.
I
The
think it's
first
as we get
time might
older.
sting, or that, just get older. Yeah, or get older. Yeah,
Yeah.
experience. Yeah. So, Dennis, where can people find you?
Yeah, they can grab me on Facebook. Just search me up as Denis Fourie on Facebook. And yeah, just reach out, follow up, just follow me there, drop me a message. Happy to chat.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you. I took a bunch of notes. I always learn from you. And I think that's one thing too. You always have to be open and listen because everybody, it doesn't matter how much experience you have, everybody, you can learn from everyone that's out there.
100%. I never stop learning. This is all
Yeah.
the time. You've got to listen. That's why I enjoy your podcasts too. It's, okay, I'm always learning different little things. Different people are talking about. I actually didn't know that. That's actually so cool. That's never stop learning.
Never stop
Never
learning
stop
and never
learning.
stop having fun. As you can tell, we had fun. I hope everybody that was
Definitely.
listening had a lot of fun. And for everyone that's out there, whether you're starting out or you are not a newbie anymore, just remember you are unique. And think about some of the things that Dennis talked about, how important marketing is and knowing the customer journey. Do you really know your customer? So something to think about because you're unique out there and you have something, some skill. Everybody has some sort of skill, some sort of experience that can change the world. And you know how big I am about changing the world. It only takes one person. It's like throwing a stone in a stream and creating that ripple effect. So thank you everyone for listening. And oh my gosh, Dennis, thank you for being here. I
Oh, it's
adore
a pleasure for
you.
you anytime.
I know we'll have you back again for sure. And for everybody that's out there listening, I hope you enjoyed this. Give us a 5-star review. And of course, we will have how you can track down my friend Denis Fourie in the show notes. So be sure to check him out because he truly is the master in so much.
Oh, thank
And
you.
obviously the master in marketing. Because it was funny, as we're talking, I'm thinking, okay, these are things that I've done before and I've let it lapse. So it's always good to listen to people like Dennis. So thanks again, Dennis.
Thank you, Gabby.